For this episode, I want to highlight some of the memorable moments I've encountered in St. Lucia. St. Lucia is unique in several aspects. Its direct connection with history and the American Revolution, its Creole language, and its unbelievable melange of different foods from all over the world, all for a very, very unique taste of history. Wow, spectacular.
A taste of history is made possible by Sandals Resorts, the luxury included vacation.
St. Lucia's geographic location was very important to the English and to the French. Matter of fact, it changed hands 13 times. This island played a very important part in the success of the American Revolution.
In 1781, Washington sent what remained of his beleaguered troops for a surprise attack against British forces stationed in Yorktown, Virginia. With the help of the French, Continental soldiers surrounded Yorktown, trapping Lord Cornwallis and his British troops in a siege. Cornwallis's only hope was from British ships arriving from St. Lucia.
I see the French loading their ships.
200 years ago, this was the center of some serious battles where the French and the British exchanged gunshots. The ruins from a number of buildings that have been erected here, those that are built out of stone were built by the French. The British used bricks. Right now, we are here in peace, and 200 years ago...
That's what you think.
Two famous naval arch-rivals occupied these neighboring islands. On Martinique, it was the Comte de Grasse, the head of the French Navy. And nearby on St. Lucia, it was British Admiral Lord Rodney. These two expert seamen battled each other on the high seas for years.
The importance of that was such that once the French joined the war, Britain moved its 10 crack regiments to garrison this place. They captured it from the French and kept it throughout the war. The story is Rodney used to go on top of that hill. He sat there under an awning looking for the French. So he had this telescope because you can see the smallest boat leaving, Martinique right on the horizon.
But in August 1781, Rodney was in Europe and missed seeing his archenemy, French commander of the fleet de Grasse, sail 28 ships of the French line north from the Caribbean. The French, in coordination with General Washington, attacked Rodney's British ships at the entrance to Chesapeake Bay. The larger French fleet badly beat the British, who were forced to pull their ships back in defeat. Lord Cornwallis had no option but to surrender. The coordinated efforts of the Americans and the French had paid off spectacularly, causing the final decisive battle of the Revolutionary War. It has been called the most important naval victory of the 18th century.
And after that battle, then you came to peace terms and America eventually got its independence. But this was key to the strategy of war on the sea during the American Revolution.
It was amazing to cook on Pigeon Island, not just because of its historic connection, but also I was excited to witness some of the unique recipes and dishes from times gone by. A huge part of the culinary heritage comes from the East Indies. That's why you can experience a lot of variety of rotis and curries and dal puris all over the island. I have a chef today that is from Mauritius in the Indian Ocean, and he's going to show me his secret family recipe for this very unique chicken curry. Well, chef, let's start cooking. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to cut out this chicken for Chef quick. When I worked in India, I had many occasions to work with the local people. And what was interesting is they leave the feet and the neck and the bones into the curry. Not necessarily to eat it, just for additional flavor. The most important part is that you cut it small enough so that the curry and the seasoning can penetrate into it. That's the important part. Here we go. Chef, you can start putting your seasoning into it. Chantal, I'm sure you had your share of curries living here in St. Lucia, I'm sure.
Absolutely, Walter. I grew up with my grandmother who was Indian. So on many occasions I woke up to the smells of spices, of burnt curry, etc. happening in the kitchen. Every household you go to, every restaurant you go to, the flavor is slightly different because of different seasonings that are added to it.
I chopped up the chicken, like I said, you do this before. Chef is going to include the spices. Tell us what you put in as you put it in.
It's a ginger garlic.
It's a ginger garlic combination. Now there's some secrets involved, but today we're going to unveil the secrets. So ginger, ground masala,
That's a curry powder.
curry powder. There you go. Smells so good already, doesn't
Smells
it?
very good. Takes me back to my childhood.
That's the idea.
That's our tandoori marinade.
Salt. All right. Mix it up good. Today in the Taste of History, I have a helper. Look at that. That's a little easy for me. You hold this, Chantal, and we're going to put this beautiful pot on our fire. Give it a couple of minutes. One thing that most people don't realize, the amount of heat bush cooking gives you, that's what we call it down here, but it's just spectacular. And I just always think that it tastes much better cooking like that than any other way. A little oil in there. Look at how fast. Hold on to that.
Walter, this actually reminds me of when I was helping my grandmother in the kitchen doing this. This is fabulous.
You're not calling me grandfather, though.
No, I'm not.
Chef, come and look.
Now it's ready to add some
Yep.
onion, some
Get
garlic.
ready. Put the onions in there. Boy, Chantal, the smells of that, huh?
That's so good, Walter.
I call this the smell of St. Lucia. Curry, curry, and then curry, right?
That's a ginger garlic paste. We have some curry powder.
Turmeric. A little bit of brown sugar.
That's it.
There we go. Stir it up good. So now we're going to top it off with water. Beautiful. The flavors is just spectacular. I can't wait until he makes the dal puri though, because
So it
that's
finishes the dish.
yeah, absolutely beautiful. So Chantal, when I drive to town and I see still a good amount of roti stand there, many years when I came here, I didn't realize that locals leave the bones and the meat.
That's the best part of
I
the
do know
chicken,
that,
the
but
best part
if
of
you
the
don't know it and the roti is camouflaged, it's not so simple.
No, the bones make the roti fabulous. So it is the best part of eating a roti.
You call it tomatoes, I call it tomato. So we're almost ready. Imagine that. Look how amazing it smells. Chantal, I want you and I to try quick while chef's holding the coriander.
Oh my God, this is fantastic.
Here.
High five, Walter. Wow, this is awesome.
You did good. Let's put the coriander in.
The coriander.
Put it all in there. Oh yeah. Oh, everybody makes a curry, be it whether curry chicken, curry goat, curry conch, all of that. But not too many people make a dal puri.
So you have regular flour.
All-purpose flour,
Yeah, a bit of baking powder,
baking powder. All right.
turmeric powder,
Turmeric.
salt,
All right.
a bit oil, some water. So making the dal puri dough. You need some more water to just take all the flour.
You just got to make sure that you have enough liquid in there so the dough is manageable, like any dough you make. Think of a pasta dough, it's a bit of the same thing. The lentils go in the middle of the dal.
It's done when it's all whole together.
So his dough is perfect now. Now he's going to make it into a
Ready?
small
We
bowl.
make small bowl, then
Yep.
we shall stuff it with a dal.
Watch that. That's the trick. That's why you buy it and I buy it, because we know this is too much work.
Absolutely, and we're too busy for some of this stuff.
It's too much work. Take a look at that.
Stuff the dal.
Those are the lentils raw. Those are the lentils cooked.
Stuffing with the dal.
Close it down. That's why I'm like you. I'm buying them. But this is what makes the trick, and that's where the flavor comes in.
You can put the tawa now on.
Okay, no problem.
Please. Don't burn yourself. Now, gentle rolling that if you want to do it, because if you push too hard, it'll open up again and it comes out. Look at how nice. You've done this a few times, haven't you?
Looks like it.
Dal puri master here. You want a slow fire for that because too much fire will be burned before it's cooked inside. So I'll cook a little bit more. Our spectacular meal is served thanks to the master, the Alpuri man. This is one thing I learned. And every time I cook on different locations, I learn something I take back home with me. And I tell you today what I'm taking back is the flavor of that curry because I have never, and I mean it, had a better curry than that. I thank you for sharing your recipe.
The Sufer estate is nestled in a natural gorge, surrounded by exquisite gardens, stunning waterfalls, and a volcano that contributes mineral deposits to the nearby springs. In 1784, baths were constructed in order for French troops to make use of the supposed therapeutic benefits of the site's natural hot springs. Historically, this once operating plantation also produced limes and cocoa, among other items, and is now considered a cherished site in the region. The Diamond Falls Botanical Garden is considered one of St. Lucia's natural wonders. It offers an abundance of serene beauty and peaceful tranquility.
This is the original structure that was built in 1784. Since I cooked all day today, you gotta excuse me, but I'm gonna change my clothes and I'm gonna jump into this mineral bath myself.
Well, the water is coming from the volcano, but it's filtered naturally underground. So it's highly recommended for persons who suffer with arthritis, rheumatism, skin disease. So that's why we say 10 years younger after soaking in this water. You feel rejuvenate like a new person.
Wow. Way before the Europeans settled in St. Lucia, there was indigenous people of St. Lucia which have their own culinary heritage. Their national dish is saltfish and fake. But the many dishes I got to experience with the chef Ravi that makes it its mission to protect the integrity of the early dishes from way back when. It was quite a unique learning experience for me.
The saltfish is our local Creole dish. Everywhere in the island, you find people are accustomed of having this type of dishes. In the country, what we stick to is natural.
And it seems to be like a lot of love. You didn't cook for retail, you cooked for yourself.
Yes, and in St. Lucia, everybody have a large family because you cook and you're always expecting people coming in.
It's me tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, lovely.
Robbie, so good to meet you.
Yeah, you too, Chef Walter.
And I think you bring me a little liquid sunshine here.
Yes, the liquid sunshine, that's natural. We're in the rainforest.
It's so nice to work with you up here in the mountains of St. Lucia. So what are we going to do?
We're going to dabble in a whole bunch of different things. We have to represent St. Lucia. This is our real national dish. We do saltfish and green figs. And a lot of people prefer it with breadfruit, so we do saltfish and breadfruit or saltfish and green fig. Or everybody has their particular taste.
And you throw a few sardines with it.
And but we're going to do sardines with it also because sardines are also salted and roasted. Scrape the scales off of it, obviously. You get down to the meat, and I just squeeze it like a peanut and get the center bone out. And we saute these with onions and peppers and whatnot, and some lime juice. And
Gotcha.
It's a big breakfast thing down here. We have a piece of saltfish here, or bacalao. Now we just shred the saltfish. I just cut it up. We'll do it with all the salt in it. Okay, so here we go. Onions, a little shadow benny, a little celery, seasoning peppers, some bell peppers, a little tomato. And since they're so salty, the more onions and stuff you put to balance off the salt. So here we go. We have the breadfruit that's been scraped out on the outside like this one. Nice hot breadfruit, and we just get the meat out of it, and we're gonna leave it in there still until we're ready to eat it for our stew. Okay, so now we're gonna get ready to prepare our national dish. So we get our breadfruit. I'm gonna do 2 servings. How's that? So you could have one, I could have one. We serve some avocado with that.
You call them avocado or pears?
We call them, well, avocados and pears, but we use both names. Additionally, a cucumber salad goes with that, so a little salt in there, a little garlic, some peppers for color, some scallions, tomato, enhance the color. And that goes next to your avocado, right there. And some nice saltfish over the breadfruit.
God, nice flavor, huh?
So, that's it. Roasted breadfruit, saltfish, and some avocado. Try some of that. A little bit of everything.
Wow. The flavor, and I love the idea of the salt in the carb.
Keeping the natural raw salt into it.
And obviously the breadfruit just adds a lot of texture to it.
I could eat this all day. Go by the beachside, relax.
This food can bear the name A Taste of History, because it is really
history.
your history.
That's part of our culture. That's our history right there.
St. Lucia is an eclectic blend of West African, French, British, and East Indian influences.
We have come from many people. What you find is that the dominant African culture mixed with the others and very, very influential in shaping this new Creole culture.
Like other Caribbean nations, the people of St. Lucia enjoy typical island dishes such as chicken stew, rice and peas, fish broths, and soups.
The Caribbean is noted for the very spicy foods, the curries. We have the roti that all over the world the Caribbean is known for. This came from the East Indians.
Ground provisions or root vegetables like yams or cassava are considered essential staples.
Welcome to Fond Latisab. I'm showing you how we process cassava to make cassava bread.
Man, it's a lot of hard work.
I'm going to take the cassava, put underneath the press.
This is a press, Canis? Looks
Yeah.
to me like a bunch of sticks of wood.
I'll put this here.
Yeah? How long do you let it sit there?
For about half an hour. She's going to sieve the cassava pulp, add the other ingredients like coconut in there,
Brown sugar.
nutmeg, a little pinch of salt. We'll be adding the starch into the cassava. We're squeezing the juice from the starch.
Oh, man. So this goes in.
Okay. Now she's going to sift it into the cassava pulp, knit it together. We put it on the plantain leaf to avoid it from sticking at the bottom of the pot.
She's smoothing it out very nice,
Yeah,
I can see it. She's an expert. And then it goes?
On the fire. About 30 minutes it's been cooking. Give you a little banana ketchup.
Yeah. The cassava man.
Okay.
Oh, so much flavor. A lot of work for a piece of bread, I'll tell you that.
Around October, November, December month, we usually do our folk dance. The members of the community would come and spend the evening dancing, socialize.
I still got it. Having worked in France and been fluent in French, I found it very intriguing, the Creole language of St. Lucia. Not too difficult to understand if they speak slow, but if they speak fast, not so much.
Bienvenue, monsieur, au Place Research Folklore.
It sounds like French to me. I thought I was in St. Lucia.
Creole has about 80% French. That's the reason why some of the words and phrases.
I've been coming to St. Lucia for many, many years, and I've always loved to come here because I can pick up a lot of the Creole. Not all of it, not when they talk fluently and fast, but there's so much similarities between the languages.
Right, and it's a very lovely language. It's a very dramatic language.
So let me help you to spread the word of Creole.
Eh bien, moi ni zaboka la caille. Zaboka.
Zaboka. That is a strange one to me. What does that mean?
Avocado.
Avocado, because I like zapoka.
You like zapoka.
I like big time.
Aimé zapoka.
Aimé, oh, no shame. Aimé zapoka.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I
Yeah.
got it. Aimé zapoka, okay. Now, the name of the show in Creole, which is called The Taste of History in English.
Ok, ça c'est un goût l'histoire. Ça c'est créole la poli. Et puis ça sent bon bagaille. Parce que l'histoire c'est ça. Nous, et bien tout le monde qui continue à garder spectacle là.
Spectacular.
Yeah, exactly.
Madras, coming from a mixture of India, African, and the French, come together to give us this cloth that is designed in all kinds of ways to create this beautiful kaleidoscope of color that you see in the Creole clothes.
It's worn on special occasion, like today.
Moi Heritage Creole Heritage Month, when we get the world, get St. Lucian community first of all, and the rest of the region and the rest of the world to pay attention and to know a little bit more about the Creole language and to proclaim it to the world.
So, Radroy,
Hey, Chef, what's
we
up?
found a much better day today to finish the spectacular meal we prepared. And what intrigued me yesterday with your fantastic vegetable carving you made, all the roses. And show me your unbelievable skills that you have as a vegetable carver.
All right, the main piece was a watermelon, right? And then we have some vegetables over here, a little fruit, to enhance the display after we're done, right? What we do first is make a base. Once it's flat, we gently take off the outer layer of the watermelon, okay?
It's art history and culinary savvy, right?
Yeah, it's a two-in-one. So we're trying to make the center petal right now. So you go in and out. So as you go wider, you want to open the rose, right? So after I make this petal, I'm going to change my dimension of cuts. We're going to go like this now.
It's beautiful. So quick you did it. Look at it. It looks so well.
At times, I call myself a fruit surgeon.
Well, you are. You're the doctor.
Yeah.
Wow, Radroy. What a beauty.
We're going to enhance the rose now.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
we're going to make it like a beautiful garden. So we had our papayas.
Papaya,
We have to make them nice and firm, right?
so they don't fall off the board.
Yeah. It's just like making a floral arrangement.
Nice.
Hello, Walter. Welcome back.
It's good to see you again.
Good. Nice to see you on One Fortune again.
Where do you bring me to here?
I bring you here because this is our biggest and best historic site. It's called Mont Fortune, built by the French. It was called La Citadelle du Mont Fortune. It was one of the places that was most fought over in the island.
Mount Fortune. It means hill of good luck. I mean, what's so good luck about this many tragedies here?
Wherever there was a war in Europe between the British and French, St. Lucia was featured in it. So the fortune thing, it's if you hold on to it, you're more fortunate. So this is key to the military history and to the whole history of the island.
Yeah, like, you know, Doctor, most people don't realize that the American Revolution didn't have a naval strength. So if it wasn't for the French Navy, God knows when the war would have...
That's quite true, yeah.
And it all happened right here.
Yeah. What you call the Continental Navy were just privateers who came to Martinique and went to St. Eustatius to get arms and ammunition to fight on the continent. But the main fighting, which was the naval fighting, took place right down in these islands, and this was the big key. So your first battle and your last battle had this big connection with this spot and with St. Lucia.
I hope you have appreciated what I brought to you, because St. Lucia has a very, very special spot in my heart. For donkey, however.
So keep your hand light.
All for a taste of history.
A taste of history is made possible by Sandals Resorts, the luxury included vacation.
For the past 10 years, I've gotten so many requests for recipes for my show, A Taste of History. Well, now you can find my favorite recipes in the Taste of History cookbook.